Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Welcome to Seeker, Aspirant, Victim.
Seeker, Aspirant, Victim.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm Asher.
And I'm Jason. And I'm an idiot.
Why?
Well, my music isn't working.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're already starting.
That happens. Okay. So we are on. There it is. Chapter right here, right now. There's your copy of those. You want to read along with this? Explain it to me. So before we just start, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. I guess we missed last week, but it was called for whatever reason.
It was called for. So we've really enjoyed going through this. So I just want to tell you, it's been really useful to read it out loud to you guys and talk about it with you and to get a different perspective of it and to take our time with it too.
Yeah, and I know this material from like a time of rapid consumption, an extended period of deep consumption, and then like I keep going back to it here and there, but like not like weird modes that I've gotten in.
Yeah.
And now that now that we're reading through this stuff, like I don't know, I think that if anybody out there is doing that, like consuming them on repeat, like encoding it into your head, I don't know if it's necessarily that useful to do that, because like I don't know. I think that I got like blinded by listening to it, or I was listening to it by consuming it so much that like now when I'm going back and I have a different context than the last time I listened, I get totally different insights, and I just don't know if there's necessarily any benefit to what we did, what I've done.
But I did the same thing. And one of the possible benefits, and this was funny, that we talked about this when we first started this channel, which was we know this material. Like we've read this book 10 times. Like
literally.
We can really stand up there with the PhD level guys. Now, we might not know all of, every once in a while you meet some guys who are like, oh, Adavante and Shadi, and they go off and they talk about shit from a different side. Well, we don't know shit about that, but we know a lot about Jed.
Yeah.
And so, but one thing we have been doing lately is broadening out to different areas and then coming back into Jed. And one thing he says is, one thing you're going to need is a good library.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way he did it. So he's bringing everything into this and creating this focus where we were just Jed, and now we're branching out.
Yeah. Well,
here we are, back to right here, right now. So this is really interesting. I want to tell you something. This morning I was looking for a Walt Whitman poem. And I knew basically a few lines of it. All things have been steadily employed to some surprise and delight me. Here I stand with my robust soul. That's what I think I wrote in my journal because it was so important. And no fucking shit. That's the fucking poem.
For today.
And by the way, with the new YouTube standards, we are not for kids. Clearly, we have to state that.
Do we?
Oh, yeah. It's big.
Oh.
Not while we're talking. I clicked the box. I'm just saying it because I F-bombed it.
Yeah.
All forces have been steadily employed to complete and delight me. It's not surprise and delight me, which is what I wrote. Now on this spot, I stand with my robust soul. Walt Whitman.
I had the same misremembrance. Complete and delight me. I thought it was surprise because he focuses on surprise and delight in dream state. But I found that I really liked complete. I mean, separate from surprise. I just remember
like them all.
I remember misremembering it, reading that, and then being like, "Oh, I actually like that one better." Anyway, continue.
I was listening to something by Esther Hicks, and she was talking about surprising and delighting, and it made me think about that. And then she's like, yeah, your inner being, your soul, the bigger piece of you, knows more. And so it does surprise you, even though you're a deliberate creator. Okay, I roll into the driveway at 5 o'clock. It's not lost on me. Sorry. The Sanaya engineered. Don't do that.
Do it.
Don't do that.
Go.
Don't do that. It's not lost on me that Sanaya engineered my absence, and I assume I'll now find out why. I'm not disappointed. The cement truck is my first clue. I parked the car wondering if I might have a swimming pool or a tennis court in my future. If so, they're putting it in the wrong place. The focus of activity seems to be located beyond the smaller of two wooded areas, just over a small knoll. I walk out that way. There are 8 or 9 workers preparing for a pour. Their surveyors and the backhoe have obviously come and gone. The forms have been set, and the cement mixer I saw is not the first of the day. They're pouring into deep trenches that go below the frost line. The general shape is rectangular, and it's clear they are pouring the footing for walls as well as a large L-shaped slab floor along 2 of the walls. The building that I am now learning of has been cut into the knoll so that the earth and trees will shield it on the northwest side, which is where our most treacherous winter weather blows in from. The footings extend into a rectangle that is much larger than the slab floor they're creating, and I know that it's because in addition to the building, there will be a low-walled courtyard. I know the building will actually be 4 sets of bedrooms, large enough for 4 people each, and that a pair of common bathrooms and a large central living space with the fireplace will serve them all. I also know that the courtyard will have large patio and a central fire pit for cooking and bonfires. The building and walls will be built using straw bale construction and rammed earth techniques. The whole thing will have a sun-bleached adobe look. I know all this because Sanaya and I discussed this particular design for bunkhouses around 5 years ago. Wow, what the hell else have I said? I think I once said I'd like an airstrip so we could get a plane and skydive here. I better find Sanaya and cancel that very specifically. Or not. I can see that they've ditch-witched trenches for water and power, and I can see that they've planned for sewage. We're in an unincorporated part of the county, and nothing about this entire project will be subject to any government scrutiny except the sewer. I know that our county sewer inspector is a real terror, but I'm sure that after a few minutes with Sanaya, he'll be asking for a shovel and working on it himself to make it right. She has that effect on people. I plop down on top of the knoll and watch the work. They're trying to get all the concrete poured tonight. I see now that they've brought in a drain pipe and a load of gravel and created a temporary entrance from the road at the northeast corner of the property so they wouldn't have to tear the place up too much. At least I assume it's temporary. I get bored watching, so I go down and help with the forms and the shoveling gravel and whatever else needs doing. We continue around until around 9 o'clock when the final concrete is poured and groomed. The sun is down, the concrete is all poured, and a dozen students are sitting on top of the knoll eating and chatting and watching. They give me a round of applause as I approach. They've probably never seen me do any actual work before. Find that funny. Greetings all around, like joking. Rita hands me a plastic container and some chopsticks, and I find some meta palua and a piece of puree still hot and flaky. I start eating, and the gang starts presenting me with questions that arose in their discussions while I toiled. Not so fast, I interject. Go get some wood and seats, and whoever else wants to join us, and we'll build a nice fire in the courtyard to inaugurate the building. We'll ask Sanaya to come out and light it when it's ready. They burst into a flurry of activity, and I sit down to eat. It's a cool evening, almost chilly, so the fire will be nice. Word gets back to me that Sanaya has a puja ceremony scheduled for the new building, and that we should proceed without her. It starts drizzling, which is actually very pleasant. Jed? Yes, I reply, around a mouthful of bread and rice and cheese. I turn and see it's Sarah. So Sarah was the girl from the first chapter. The last time I spoke with her, we agreed that she tried to see beyond the generally accepted views about the benefits of her spiritual beliefs and practice and return to me when she had some fresh insights to share. After a few moments, she hasn't spoken. So I look and see that she's fighting back tears. Oh no, honey, what's the matter? Here, come on, sit down. I am not in the least bit immune to the tears of pretty young ladies. She sits on the grass next to me, and I wrap an arm around her. She nestles in and releases some pent-up tears. I couldn't do what you said. I tried. I thought about it a lot. I laugh and rock her playfully. Is that all? You had me worried. I thought something was wrong. You know what it means when you get stuck on something like that? She looks up at me, teary and childlike. What? It means you should come to me and ask. If people don't come to me and ask questions, I'm out of a job. You don't want to put me out of a job, do you? She laughs. What did I tell you? I said, no worries, Mom. Didn't I say that? She nods. And here you are, all worried about a silly question. Here's what we'll do. Are you going to hang around for the fire and to hear the old wise fool drone on tonight? Wise Fool Press. I wonder if that's where they got that. Yes, she says. Okay, just relax and enjoy the evening and come talk to me afterwards and we'll see how you feel. Okay? Okay. Good. Now buzz off. If they catch me with my arm around a pretty young girl like you, they'll accuse me of impropriety and I'll have to become a wandering ascetic. You know what that means? What? Homeless. Living in dumpsters. Washing my armpits in gas station sinks. Fighting for rats for scraps. That's terrible. Okay, I'll go. Come see me afterward, I remind her. She gets up and goes to help with the setup. I continue eating my meal in the drizzle as a fire pit is dug and ringed with stones and filled with logs and then surrounded by lawn chairs and makeshift benches. The seating is not evenly distributed. It's mostly on one side with only one seat, the most comfortable, all by itself, facing the rest. I watch in amusement and amazement, and the Grateful Dead line runs through my mind as it often does. What a long, strange trip it's been. How did I end up here? How did such a simple thing as a yearning for truth evolve into this? And more interestingly, where is this evolution going? Here, to this house, to these people? I watch them as they prepare the fire for our evening together. Is this it? Is this what it was all for? Is this teaching thing I do what it's all been moving toward? The answer, I know, is no. Close, but not quite there yet. The picture is not yet complete. Even now, the larger pattern of my life is only beginning to reveal itself. To explain this, I have to say something about the way my mind works, the way I view and move through life. Simply put, I don't think. I don't make choices or decisions. I don't weigh possibilities and select one over others. Instead, I observe patterns and move with them. I have a refined sense of rightness and not rightness that guides me in all things. No decision in my life is made through ratiocination. I wait for unfolding, I sense currents, and I flow with them. So that's worth stopping at because that possibly could be the single most damaging thing I've ever read. And I'll be honest about what I mean by that. I believe and have evidence in my life that that's where you end up, that there really is some truth to that. But if you just start off and you read that and you start trying to do that, it just seems you're fucked.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Well,
so you got too much shit in your head.
He says, I have a refined sense of rightness and not rightness that guides me. If you don't have that.
Is that the next thing he says?
No, I'm saying.
Oh. Yeah.
Then
yeah, it's like kind
focus, it's the fucking dream state stuff. Just the more important thing is just being an adult first and then.
Yeah. And being an adult is operating this way. And you start to get it. There's people who teach you how to do it better and take the first steps. I kind of just jumped right into trying to do this.
Yeah.
It was really difficult. I believe in it, and I know that most of my thinking is bullshit, and I don't think you have to make as many choices as that. And you can let your natural karmic wants arise and get fulfilled. It's like he said, I'd love an airstrip, and then there might be an airstrip, right? That's the human adulthood manifestation. But he's wiped out so much of his internal dialogue by him getting enlightened. So much that this is easy for him. Where us, we still have that fucking demon talking in our head going, well, is that right? Is it wrong? What will my wife think about that? What will my kids think? I don't know if I can afford that. Oh, shit.
Yeah, running it, everything through your stories and
Yeah. So you and I worked really hard to kill our stories over the years. So, but it's still a process. We didn't do a 2-year intense psychotic burn. We're doing it day by day in the human adulthood pattern.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to point out for me that was
I agree.
okay. You don't have to be enlightened to operate this way. It's talking about human adulthood. You just have to release the tiller. Once you do, an entirely new way of flowing through life opens to you. It's like releasing the tiller. Like, what does that mean? And there are people out there that will teach you that.
Yeah, there's.
Right?
It's
not just stop. I don't know.
It's not very clear here, and this is where maybe we'll have to come back to this on this channel or something and put a link. I wish that I had like another thing I could link to, or go to for an explanation or reference some other thing. But I just don't have it right now.
Yeah. Okay. Once you do, an entirely new way of flowing through life opens to you, a way that is based on rightness and sensitive to not rightness. So when I look at my own life, my own story, I look for the pattern, the unifying theme, the sum of the parts that explains my existence. So I will say, after 10 years of doing this, the works of there's a lot of people, but probably Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, is the most useful I've found so far in this sensitivity to feeling good and to feeling right.
Which in this day and age of, shitty mental health across most people, that's really important.
It's not this. I know that much. It's not this house. It's not these people. This is all just another tile in the mosaic. The self-immolation of what I've since termed spiritual autolysis was a critical element, but not the defining one. The point of my existence is not enlightenment. That too is just another piece. Who I am now, what I have become, is not the end result, just another piece of a larger picture. But what larger picture? What does it all add up to? What will the puzzle look like when complete? I sit on my now soggy butt, eating my now soggy dinner, and wonder what single outcome ties together all the seemingly unrelated twists and turns in my peculiar life. The answer to that question is only now coming into focus: the book. This book. It all makes sense in light of this book. This book is the big picture, the full expression of me, of my existence. The book is what it's all been about since day one and before. Hundreds of seemingly unrelated bits of my life that make little or no sense in any other context resolve into clear focus when viewed in light of the book. The book is the thing. These people, my students, are all on their own journeys, but they are also playing a critical role in my creative journey, and this book is and has always been the true destination of that journey. Everything points to this. All indications confirm it. The pattern is clear. It's all been about this book. Idly, soggily, I wonder what comes after. I'm going to stop now.
Okay. That's good.
And that's been interesting too. I've sat and thought, what does my whole life mean? What is it? Is there something? You're young, but I don't know. I don't know if that's useful.
I think it's useful to ask yourself that question, but I also am kind of the opinion right now, having not done it a lot, that I don't know if an individual will have the separateness from their situation ever enough to actually grasp. And I don't know.
I was talking to
is that something that you as an individual can even determine, or is that something that's probably more likely to be observed by somebody else when you're just doing it?
So I had an interesting. It's good. I've stepped back. I see some patterns. There's things coming together, but I'm older. I was talking to Jenny's mother, and I was talking about this piece. And she goes, "Oh, I know why. I can. That's interesting." She goes, "I know why. I was here. I can see the pattern in my life." And I was like, this lady just knew. Yeah. She goes, "Yeah, it was to be a mother and have kids." I was like, "Oh." So she was very clear. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we have to cut it short because we got to go. But we will see you hopefully next week. We got Thanksgiving here.
Nothing that should be stopping us.
There's nothing that should be stopping us. Okay, everybody, ask some questions. Get your fingers going, digits, type them in, and send them to us, and we will answer them. If we get enough questions, we can actually spend a whole episode answering questions.
That would be cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, signing out. Good night.
Peace.